All right, recording now. We'll get started a minute early. That's fine. Thank you everybody for joining. Welcome to the 7th meeting of the Nameless here on Dreamscythe.
Woo!
Woo!
Woohoo!
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna start with our promotions, which we usually do. Just as a reminder that promotions from newcomer to initiate are simply by attending one of these guild meetings. And then promotions from initiate to member are done by the nomination system, which we have here on Discord. After about a month of being initiate rank, and after you've been nominated, either by an officer or literally anybody, the officers can decide to promote you to a member at one of these guild meetings. So if you are playing with somebody in the guild and they are initiate rank and you think they're really cool or you had a good experience or something like that, feel free to go to the nominations channel here on Discord and just submit a ticket there with the name of the person that you had a good time with and give us the details. And yeah, because the officers are just a few people and we can't possibly know everything that's going on in the guild at all times. So you gotta let us know when the cool stuff's happening so we can reward people. Having said that, we don't have a whole ton of member promotions today, but that's not because we don't have a lot of people that deserve it. Honestly, there's a lot of people that I want to promote to member, but we're just trying to be consistent with our rules here. That there's a lot of y'all who are basically already ready for it, except for the fact that you guys got promoted last time to initiate. So just being consistent, we're going to give you guys just a little bit more time to cook. But by next meeting, a lot more initiate promotions are going to happen to, or sorry, I should say member promotions will be happening. However, we do still have a small handful for today. And our first one, which is probably the if there was ever a person who challenged how seriously we take our policy here about the 1 month waiting time after getting initiate, it is this man who has been fantastic, super fun, super helpful, just all around great guy. Everybody give it up for Brian, also known as Ray Lamuna. He's not here with us today, but this guy fucking deserved it.
Go, Brian.
Guy Brian.
So I'm gonna promote. Alex, can you handle on Discord? I'll take care of in game. There he is. Very good. We've got another one. Somebody who I don't know how he's gone this long without the promotion. I'm going to consider this an oversight on my own part. He was going to be at the guild meeting today, but he had to cancel at last minute. So hopefully he'll see this in the recording later. Krokraz has been in the guild for a very long time. He's been super nice and helpful whenever he's online. He even like makes fun of rep paladins, like he just a perfect guildie. Couldn't ask for better. Give a round of applause to Krokraz.
Let's go, Croc!
GZ.
Another one who I guess absolutely deserves it and has been coming to our raids and hangs out in Discord with us and voice all the time. Super nice guy. Is not online here at the moment, but Raynal, congratulations for your promotion to member rank.
Nice, that's a good one. Congrats, Raynal.
Yeah, congrats, Reynold.
Congrats, guys.
And we've got one more for right now who is, I believe, not... Okay, he's online, but he's not here. So I'm just going to give it to him anyway. Round of applause for Bompus, another one who's been participating.
Yeah, I know Bompus.
Bompus is great.
I ran plenty of raids.
Bompus is great. He's our resident Photoshop expert. He has got those pom-poms. He tanks sometimes too. So that's great. Big round of applause for Bompus. Again, a lot of people who are listening to this or even present right now, y'all are coming up on some promotions next week. or not next week, but next meeting. So please be patient with us. We're just trying to apply the rules fairly to everybody. Lack of a promotion is not an indicator of anything other than just our policies and, you know, us being able to only be in a couple of places at one time.
May I add to that real quick?
Sure.
So I work 60 hours a week. I pave roads, and I'm in college too. So for a lot of these guild meetings, I wouldn't be able to attend. But when I am able to attend, or help the guild out or join the guild, I'm always there. And I just wanted to mention, like, if I'm not able to attend a guild meeting, is that going to affect my rank?
Not at all. Honestly, you only ever need to attend one of the guild meetings once. It's cool for you to come back if you want to and you're available or whatever. That's awesome. But, like, literally nobody ever has to feel like they have to come to a guild meeting. Really, it's only for that first promotion to initiate, and you'll be receiving that today. So,
Awesome. Sounds good. No,
actually, you already received it today, it looks like. Alex is working on those right now.
No, I was just asking because I'm not going to be able to
I'm doing them now.
So, as mentioned, everybody who is here at the meeting is going to be getting that promotion to initiate if you're not already that rank. Thank you guys for showing up and being part of the guild. We really we do this to both help onboard everybody and get everybody on the same page about things and get to know everybody and show you guys that we're not just, you know, some random guild that just invites people and then doesn't fucking talk to them. Like, we're an actual community here, and there aren't many opportunities for us to demonstrate that, and this is one of them. So this is how we can get a lot of you guys on the Discord and stuff. Feel free to come hang out when you see us.
If I could add to that again, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Okay, so I got my rank up. Let's say the next guild meeting happens. But I'm at work.
There will be recordings of all the guild meetings, and they will be posted in the announcements channel.
Okay, so but if I'm not at a guild meeting due to work or life,
there is no downside to it.
Okay.
There's no punishment to it. I mean, if you can attend, you get to participate in like the giveaways and stuff. But other than that, you know, nobody's being penalized for it. Nobody's losing EPGP points or whatever. You know, like, it's all good. We understand these are optional.
Sounds good. That's all I had for y'all. Thank y'all.
Very good, very good. Alex, you still working on promotions, or did you get everybody?
Almost. I've done all in game. I'm just working on the Discord ones now.
I see Horatus is still newcomer rank, so I think you might have missed one. Again, we are human beings, so we do make the occasional mistake. But I think he's the only one that's missing it still. I'll grab that one in game if you can do him on Discord.
Yeah, sweet.
Very good. When you're done with that, I figured it would be good for you to maybe talk about the guild bank, which is the next section that we were going to talk about. You don't have to like read from the document, just, you know, use the doc as a basic.
Yeah, I'm just about done. Let's
okay.
Have a look. I think I've got everyone in Discord as well. Okay, if you are in Discord and you're here and you notice that I haven't upgraded your role from newcomer to initiate, just ping me in game or on Discord, on Sayonara or Alex in Discord, and I'll sort that out. But I think I've got everyone both now. Okay, so for the Guild Bank, a little bit of an update. We've purchased Guild Bank 5, which is great. Thank you to everybody that donated.
The fifth tab you made. Not Guild Bank 5. We have 5 Guild Banks now.
Guild Bank tab 5. Fuck me sideways. So thank you to everyone that donated either money or material that we were able to use or sell. That was great. We've managed to get 5 tabs pretty quickly. That tab is going to mainly be used to hold enchanting materials because we're getting a nice reserve of those. And because of that, we're rolling out a new perk for eligible guild members, which will allow us to offer a 50% off enchant for some items. At the moment, because we're still building the stock, the eligibility for that is a little bit restricted, but as we get more and more stock there, we're hoping to relax the requirements for the 50% discount quite significantly. At the moment, those people that are eligible are people that are on a permanent raid roster or have a permanent bench spot roster on any of the guild raid rosters, and the items that will offer the discounted enchants on are items that are won in our 25-man raid. So we're hoping to use that to kind of help our progression into the next tier. As I said, as we get more and more materials available, we're hoping to relax those requirements so that more and more people are eligible for the 50% discount, and also more and more items are eligible for it. But
And
we'll let you
potentially
know as
increasing
that-
the discount too.
and potentially increasing the discount as well. You know, one day in the lofty future, we'd like to be able to offer them for a very, very discounted price, but obviously the guild needs still some income. We've got another guild bank tab, at least one to purchase, Fishy. I don't know if it's 6 is the maximum.
We're
the
not
moment?
sure if it's 6 or more, because it was 6 in original TBC, but I could have swore I saw some rumors that it's more than that in Classic. I don't know. So we'll have to see
So
after we
we've
purchase
got
the
at least
season.
one more that we want to purchase, and that one is going to cost us 5,000 gold. So we want to start building towards that as much as we can. On another matter, we'd also like to be able to provide gems for people as well. And as we get more jewel crafters and prospectors and a greater supply of gems, we're hoping to be able to do that as well. At the moment, we don't really have very many, so we can't offer that at the moment, but it's certainly something we're looking at working towards. You do have the ability to purchase items from the guild bank, if you like, at a discount. These items are found in other guild tabs except for the enchanting tab, other than the free-for-all tab, which is tab 1. So the tab 1, you can freely take items from that if you're a member rank initiate or higher. Items in the other tabs you're able to purchase at a discount from their auction house price, and the discount is usually quite significant and will vary from item to item. So if there is an item in there that you would like to purchase, just send me a message in game if I'm online, or if I'm away from keyboard or in Alex's office in Discord, which is the AFK channel, which happens regularly. Then just send me a message on Discord and I'll let you know what the discount available is that we can give you that item for. Let me know anytime. If I'm not online and there's one of the other officers or mercies online, you can message them as well, and they obviously have access to the guild bank and can sort it out for you as well. Any proceeds from those sales basically are all kept within the guild bank to finance our guild activities, like the next guild bank tab, or purchasing recipes for our designated profession representatives, so that we can offer those to guildies as well. On that note, we do have some designated profession representatives in the guild. So these are people that we focus on giving high value patterns to, so that they're available for the benefit of our guildies. In the alchemy profession, Vishy over here is our elixir master, and Viakia is the potion master. So if you need either elixirs or potions made, please feel free to hit up either of those two. For blacksmithing, Mercy is the designated blacksmith. Similarly for enchanting, Mercy is a designated enchanter. For tailoring, it's myself. For leatherworking, we don't have one at the moment. For jewel crafting, official position is still to be announced, but for now you can reach out to Caldor, who's got a pretty good supply of jewel crafting patterns. And for engineering, it's Shady. And I think that's all I have for you on the guild bank. Anything else you want to add to that, Vishy?
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize too that the next perk that we want to open up, in addition to obviously making the enchants less restrictive, the next thing that we're going to want to focus on is gems. I know that there's consumes and stuff eventually we could potentially provide. We've done that in the past on other servers, but I'm trying to go with the more permanent stuff, that actually helps your gear permanently, as opposed to consumes that people consume and then they go away forever.
Yeah, to add to that,
But
I think I've got all the expensive recipes for jewel crafting, and if you want an obscure one I don't have, I'll just go buy it.
well, be careful what you wish for there, Caldor, because there's going to
The
be
ones I don't have are all like 40 gold. I just get
well.
them.
Point is, I would like to us to be able to provide gems and stuff for people's gear, just like we're providing the enchants. So, any donations of adamantite in particular or uncut rare gems are very, very much appreciated. The list of profession of our official profession representatives, I don't think that is posted on Discord. Let me double check that real quick.
I don't think it is either. I think we should address that for sure.
I think so too. Alex, can you write that at the bottom of the doc where there's the after meeting tasks? Yeah, there. Cool. So we will note that somewhere. But in the meantime, you guys want something we'll talk about later anyway when we get to add-ons. Is there is an add-on called Profession Master, and that will allow you to see the recipes of everybody in the guild that also has Profession Master, and you'll be able to see who has what recipe. Highly recommend that everybody get that. We're not going to force you to; it's not required. But the more people who have it, the more detailed that and helpful that add-on is. So let's talk about our raids. Let's do a little update. So many of you might have already seen that we have implemented or started to implement rosters. Rosters are just an official list of who is supposed to be signing up for our raids, who we expect to sign up for our raids each week. Obviously, not with 100% attendance, shit happens, but, as close to 100 as we can get. So we are implementing these. The intention is to protect our raiders by allowing them to reserve their raid spots. If we have 10 paladins all, vying for, one prop paladin spot, that's not good. And that's going to suck for all 10 of them. At least with a permanent spot, we can protect it for one person. And then the other people know, hey, that spot is taken. And most likely, if that person shows up, I'm not going to, don't rely on getting into that particular raid. As much as I would love to just have flex raiding where we can take anybody and everybody, it just doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, we as a guild just have to kind of deal with what Blizzard has given us. This is how the game works, and we have to roll with the punches. And this is how we are doing so. Some more casual guilds than us, obviously it's a spectrum, and we, some people consider us to be casual. We don't like using labels on that, but some guilds that are even more casual than us will prefer not having that, and that's great for them. I just don't think they're going to get very far from tier 5 onwards. So this is something we're trying to get organized now, so that way we have less pain later.
Can I add to that, please?
Sure.
Um,
There will be a time at the end of the meeting, by the way, for open floor for questions and stuff, if you want to write down your questions.
Understandable. The only question I ask is, are we adding another group, or are we going to just keep 2 groups, red and blue?
There's red and blue for now. I'll say the same thing that I've said before, and that we've said even when red group was initially started by Orc. Orc was asking, if he could start a group. Cool. That's fine. If somebody here wants to start a group themselves, the guild is willing to help make that happen. But right now, the officer team, as limited as we are in our time and our ability to just manage so much, we cannot be prompting the starting of another group. If somebody wants to start one and they say, hey, the current times of red and blue group don't work for me, I want to make a group that's on these days at these times that don't overlap with blue or red group. Cool. Yeah, we can make that happen. Come talk to us, and we can potentially set up a green group or a yellow group or purple group or whatever the heck.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So the other reason that we're doing the roster thing is to allow our raid leaders to be able to plan properly for raids. I can't tell you guys how much easier it is for me to make assignments and stuff for people on fights when I actually know who's going to be there ahead of time. I can like set up some of these documents and stuff before the raid instead of having to do it during the raid and having to correct it 5 million times. And any of y'all who have raided with me as the raid leader know that that has been something I've had to deal with every week, and it just makes things easier for me. It makes things easier for Zach or anybody else who's raid leading. Just that's a big thing. And additionally, when it comes down to loot counseling decisions, which again, we don't do a lot of loot counseling in this guild. It's only used for a couple of items here or there. But when that happens, obviously having a permanent roster where we know that somebody is committed to showing up to the majority of raids, that really helps us figure out, who our options are to give items, those specific items to. We'll cover that real quick again later in the meeting. There are applications to take one of those open roster slots, and they can be found in the recruitment channel on Discord. Please fill that out if you want a permanent spot if you have not yet filled it out. It is super important. It doesn't matter if you've shown up to every blue group raid or every red group raid so far. Don't assume that your spot is taken for you. If you haven't filled out the application, please do so. It'll help us put everything together. Filling out the application is not a guarantee that we can put you in, but it at least starts the discussion and puts your name in there, and we'll do what we can.
Question on that.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, what's up?
First off and foremost, thank you, Zach. I'm so glad you're out of the hospital.
Yeah, man.
Not trying to. You probably have something for that, but I'm not trying to go there. My simple question is, so I set up for a roster. I'm part of the roster. I've been part of the roster, whether it's blue, green, purple, gold, orange. Set up my own, doesn't matter. What happens then? Like,
the being on the roster is basically just a social contract, I guess.
Work switches to night work.
Well, so it's basically just an agreement.
And then I can't lead that raid, or I can't.
Of course, stuff happens. It's an agreement. If you sign up for it, you're saying I should, all things considered, be able to make most of the raids on those days. If shit comes up, Cool. Sign yourself as absent, provide a reason, stay in communication, and everything's fine. Obviously, we're not going to penalize people for having real life things that are way more important than WoW come up. But if people can't maintain a high level of attendance, it's also very hard for the raid. And in the past, we tried kind of distinguishing between people having good reasons for not showing up and bad reasons. And at this point, we're just kind of not going to do that anymore, because at the end of the day, whether a person has a good reason or a bad reason, the effect is the same on the raid. And there's really no way for us, the officer team, to verify that somebody is, and it'd be kind of fucking weird for us to even ask, that like, oh, hey, my grandmother's in the hospital. Well, is she really? Do you have proof? No, we're not going to do that. But we just have to treat everybody's absences the same. We just ask, hey, if you can have a high, amount of attendance, that's great. If you can't, if you think you're closer to like 50% of the attendance that you think you can get, there's the permanent bench option where you're still prioritized over pugs or, other guildies, composition, if composition willing.
Well, the only reason I asked is like for my work and other people that are here. So I work day shift, normally 5 a.m. to about 6 p.m. And then at the same time, like it'll be Saturday and I'll get a phone call. Hey, you have to work Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. And then you're off Friday and you have to work Saturday. And then next week, working Monday during the day, Tuesday during the day, Wednesday during the day. Then Thursday we're off. And then Friday we have to work Friday night and Saturday night.
Yeah, no, I get you. Work, can shift schedules around, and this is why when you apply to be on the permanent roster, you have to consider that. If your work is constantly shifting schedule, you're gonna have a problem signing up for a permanent spot on any guild's raid. Really, we are included in that, unfortunately. Like we do need some level of consistency, and if we find that the attendance consistently is falling down, we might have to
I
have a
mean,
talk.
it's like once every other month that happens.
Like,
But
yeah,
yeah.
okay, well, the occasional thing is fine. That happens. That's normal. We're reasonable people. We're not like, we're not trying to be like, no, how dare you, spend time with your kids, or go do your job and your obligation. Like, that's not what we're here for. We just want to make sure that the 25 plus people that are in a raid group can rely on each other to show up, because unfortunately that's just kind of how the game works. You got to need those warm bodies in there to kill the bosses. So
Oh, I know. I got you. Thank you for answering my question.
no problem. Okay, and let's see if there's anything else I didn't cover about that.
I just jump in for a sec. The
Yeah.
intent of the roster is for the raid leaders to know regularly who's most likely to attend. Every raid still has its individual sign up page. So if you can't attend a raid for a particular reason, you just mark yourself as absent on that
And provide
week.
the reason and everything.
Yeah. The intent of the roster is for people who know that they're going to be regularly able to attend it, a time with a good rate, to let the raid leader know, so that they've got the ability to regularly have a consistent group of people. If genuinely you would like to raid, but you don't see yourself being able to attend more than 50% of the time, for example, then a permanent raid spot just isn't going to be for you, because the raid leader's not going to be able to deal with that. But it's okay. You can still sign up as a permanent bench position, and then if there is
Well, permanent bench is
open
50%.
if
Permanent
there
is
an
closer
open
to
slot,
100. Yeah.
if there is an open slot on one of the raids that you can attend, then you'll be welcome to join. But really, the permanent roster is for people that can regularly attend. As Vichy said, if there's time where
I'm
you
down
can't.
to raid anytime I can never raid. My biggest problem is the fact that my boss will call me on Friday and be like, "We have an emergency patch at 7 o'clock on Saturday,"
And that happens. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
absolutely.
interrupt, and I'm gonna address an elephant potentially in the room. I was supposed to raid lead on Saturday, and something medically happened to me where I could not, and I essentially no-showed, which was not great as a raid leader.
And we're about to kick him from the guild because of that, obviously.
Listen. I would like everybody to please shush and let me get this out, because it's relevant to your question, and I think relevant to other questions that could spawn. I think that we all understand at the end of the day, this is a game, and that's really exciting, and we love to play with each other. Some of us love to organize things more than others, and that's really cool. At the end of the day, communication is key. You can tell us, I raid lead Friday and Saturday, as Vichy hinted at. Tell us ahead of time when you can or can't make it, and we can have a conversation. There's nothing that I don't think anybody, especially at the officer level, we're not unwilling to have a conversation about something. So, for the sake of steering this meeting forward, I don't want to quiet anybody, but I would like to.
Yeah, we do want to keep moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some of the things that you're bringing up are awesome, and these are the things that we can have like one-on-one conversations with.
Yep, and we'll also be, like I said, opening the floor for questions and comments and concerns at the end of the meeting. So
I apologize.
no, it's all good. It's all good. Quick questions we can do, as we're on the topics, but anything longer than that, we'll handle at the end. Okay, just write them down so you don't forget. Next, let's see. Red group, your roster hasn't been posted yet, but we are actively working on that. Zach, I know you've been obviously busy with your medical situation, but I did meet with the other red group leads yesterday, and they're working on reaching out to a couple of the people that did not yet sign up for the red roster. So we are working on that. And once we have a more clear idea of who's going to be on there, we will post that and get you guys in there as quickly as possible, hopefully before the raids this weekend. So that way, anybody who wins things at the 25 mans this weekend will be eligible, if they're on the raid roster, the permanent roster, they'll be eligible for those half off enchants that we were talking about earlier. Okay. Just for those of you who have not raided with us before, our raiding environment is pretty basic stuff, basic raid etiquette. Please sign up for the events. Bring consumables. That's more important in tier 5 onwards. We're not really focusing on consumables right now in tier 4. It's kind of not necessary. You can bring them, but they're optional. Understand your role in class. Obviously that's a learning thing. We're not expecting people to jump in and immediately know everything. But, always be willing to learn, always be open to constructive criticism, not being flamed, but constructive criticism. And just be focused during raids and being productive. We're here to have fun and experience all the content, and we just want to have respect for everybody. And, if you want more information about the specific rules and how we do all this, we have more details about that in the rules section on Discord, which recently I expanded to include a lot of the stuff that we already covered, like the rosters and the guild bank, and more details about our loot system, EPGP. So there's a lot of stuff over there. Off specs and alts I want to talk about real quick. We have mentioned this in the past, but the more flexibility that you guys give us as the raid leaders, that you guys give us, is absolutely huge. Being able to swap somebody to an off spec because Blizzard decided that a specific composition is needed for a specific fight is huge. Or even an alt is huge. Nobody's required to do this, and even if a raid leader requests that you switch to a different spec or a different alt, that does not mean you have to do it. But to those of you who do, it is absolutely huge, and the raids massively benefit from it. If you have been neglecting your off-spec or your alt and you've been intending on doing them, this is a really good time to get started on that while we are still in Tier 4 and kind of running out of other stuff to do. So that is I just want to stress that that's so important for us. It's also fine if people have multiple level 70s and they want to commit, like one character for red group and one character for blue group or something. That's totally fine if you guys want to do that. We already have at least one person that's applied to do so. That is fine as well. Just, keep in mind that is still a bigger time commitment of 4 raid nights a week, and not everybody can do that or wants to do that. But if that's something you want to do, feel free. Let us know. We're more than happy to accommodate, again, composition willing. And just as a reminder, when it comes to our loot system of EPGP, that your mains and alts will be linked, so that if you earn EP or GP on one character, it's granted for all of your characters. They all have the same numbers. However, the different raid groups have different EPGP counts. So if I get 100 EP in blue group, I did not gain 100 EP in red group. However, all of my characters did get the 100 EP in blue group. So hopefully that makes some sense. There was a lot more info posted, like I said, in Discord recently. I went through some intricacies and edge cases and stuff. It's, you can just read that if you're interested in that. There's, a lot of potential unusual situations where you might be wondering, how does this system work with that? And we have tried to think through everything, but we are people, as I have said. We have flaws. We can't think of everything ahead of time. So if you come up with any other unusual situations where you're thinking like, how would the EPGP system handle this, please bring that to our attention, and we can either answer your question, or if we don't have an answer, that gives us room to potentially come up with an answer and add to the list of edge cases that we have already posted. Sorry, I just got distracted. Somebody in LFG chat is named Vishy, and I have to sue them for copyright infringement. Anyway. Let's see. For recruitment, red group, again, I'm not 100% sure what the needs are right now because we are in the middle of building that roster. But I think once we have that roster together, we'll have a little bit more of a clear update for that.
We'll take a review soon.
Yeah. Blue group, just because we just did our rosters currently, or at least when I wrote this document, a day or so ago, we were looking for 2 destruction warlocks, 1 arcane mage, 1 elemental shaman, 1 resto shaman, and 1 resto druid. That is what we're currently looking for. We will obviously consider anybody for bench, but for the permanent spots, that is what we are looking for right now. Again, for individual raids, everybody is welcome to sign up because you never know who is on the permanent roster but just can't make it one week. It happens. We do have a recruitment channel on Discord, which I'm going to try to keep updated to reflect our needs based off of the recent raid signups and our rosters. And we are willing to hear out, if anybody wants to assist us with recruitment, we can always appreciate some help with that. Yeah. All right. As for add-ons, no changes this week, but for those of you who are new, we do require a couple of add-ons for raiding with us. Deadly Boss Mods is one of them. We also let you pick a threat meter add-on. We don't really care which one it is, as long as it's a proper threat meter add-on that shows both you and the tanks and everybody that's above you in threat. It's super important to be able to gauge that. There are several fights that we've already seen in Tier 4 where you have to be below not just the tank, but also the second tank in threat. It's super important that everybody has a threat meter add-on for raiding. If you are a paladin or if you are raid leading, we do ask that you get pally power to help assign pally buffs and get those out correctly. We also ask for our 25-man raids for people to come with Core Loot Manager and RC Loot Council Classic. So these are the add-ons that we use for distributing items with EPGP. That's kind of important if you want to see that, and if you want to make selections for items when they go out. They are required. If you do not have those items, or sorry, not those items, those add-ons when we are distributing loot in raids, that means you can't get the loot in the raids. And most people want loot in raids. So if you want loot in raids, get the add-ons. In addition to that, we have some recommended add-ons. These are obviously optional, but we do recommend them for good reasons. There's Nova World buffs, which I'm sure lots of you are familiar with already, which will show you what layer you're on and what layer your guildies are on and all sorts of neat stuff. It'll show you like which layers, let's say you're about to do a dungeon in Terrakar Forest and you want to know which layer has the towers on them so you can get the spirit shards. Well, the Nova World buffs has that. So really, really useful. And then our second recommended add-on works really well with that. It's called MapMate, which allows you to see your fellow guildies on the map, which is just really fun and cool. And you can stalk them. And I mean, not that I would ever do that, of course, but it also can be used to layer. There's a feature where you open up the map. If you've got MapMate and they've got MapMate, you can right-click this little icon, which I'm actually showing right now in the video for anybody who watches the video later. You can right-click this icon and then click on this button right here, and it will allow you to get an automatic invite from that person and join their layer. So it's really, really streamlines the layering process, which is great, and you can use it for ghetto hearths too. If any of you guys have MapMate and have noticed that I suddenly pop into your group and then leave or something, that's what's going on there. Additionally, we recommend for a DPS meter, and it also can function as a threat meter. Details works really well for that. There's an add-on called Rating Buster, RATINGBUSTER. It helps you understand your stats by breaking down exactly what each of the stats do, not just, 29 defense rating. What the hell is 29 defense rating? What does that actually mean? Well, my add-on's telling me that 29 defense rating is giving me 0.49% dodge and 0.49% crit avoidance and 0.49% chance to be missed. So all that together is really much more useful than just being told what the rating is, right? And it really helps you learn your class and figure out how much, of each stat you really need to hit your hit caps or your defense caps or your expertise caps or whatever it is. Really, really, really recommend that add-on. There's another one called Attune. Attune will help you with your attunements. Attunements are things that you have to do before you can enter certain raids. And while there aren't any attunements needed for Gruul or for Magtheridon, in TBC, those are the minority. Most of the raids have attunements, quest chains, and little tasks and stuff that you have to get done before you'll even be allowed to zone in. In Tier 5, which is the next raids coming out, both of them have fairly lengthy attunement chains, and you guys are going to need to do that. And so getting that add-on to show you exactly how to do those things will be super useful. I'm showing them on the screen right now, again, for the recording. And you can see where my progress is. I'm not quite tuned to both Tier 5 raids yet, but I'm working on it. Another one is Item Rack. If you have multiple sets of gear, it's a really good add-on that'll help you organize those. It even has like things where you can program automatic stuff. If you've got anybody here has one of those riding crops that increases your mounted speed by 10%, you can set up a thing in Item Rack that automatically equips it whenever you're mounted and moving, but unequips it when you are not moving anymore or when you dismount. Just little things like that. Super fun. As a druid, you can make it so every time you shift into cat form, it puts on your cat gear or whatever. Really, really useful add-on. Super recommended. Another one is NPC abilities. It is an add-on that shows you the abilities of NPCs in the tooltip. You mouse over a mob and it'll say, hey, this mob has Rain of Fire. It has Mana Burn. It has whatever. And it's very, very useful. If you can't remember, which mobs do what, highly, highly recommend that too. And then as mentioned earlier, our last recommended add-on is Profession Master, which will show you the professions and the recipes that all of your fellow guildies have, that at least of the ones that have Profession Master themselves. So big recommend there. The more people who get it, the more useful it is. All of these add-ons, the required ones and the recommended ones, are linked in the rules section of the Discord. There is an add-on section, so you can check that out. And there are links to the specific add-ons there too, so you don't have to go searching for them and accidentally download the wrong one, because there are some where there are multiple versions of it on CurseForge, so I would recommend following those links there. Another thing I want to talk about real quick is inactivity. If your characters are inactive in the guild for a certain amount of time, they may be removed. This is because the nature of the game right now is that the only real successful way to recruit, other than being a top rating guild, which we're not, is by spamming recruitment. And I hate it. I hate that the game is this way, but I accept that it is this way. And so that is our primary recruitment source. Most, if not all of you, have been recruited this way. And so that also means I'm going to have to occasionally kick people, because there are limits to how many characters can be in the guild. However, if you get removed from the guild because you were temporarily away for a couple weeks, couple months, whatever, and you come back and you notice you're not in the guild, just shoot us a message. You're welcome back at any time. We don't kick people from the Discord for inactivity. Being a higher level and being a higher rank also will prevent you from being kicked for a longer period of time, so keep that in mind too. Like, I don't think I've kicked for inactivity any member rank players yet. Just as an example. Okay, we're almost done here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Our last thing that I really want to go over is the guild notes, which is something that we really haven't stressed too much, but a lot of y'all are missing notes in your guild notes. This is not a call for you guys to fill them out yourself. This is a call for you guys to reach out to an officer, any officer, and tell them what specs you are. What is your primary spec? And if you have a second spec, what is that one? You don't have to tell us about your professions, because we can actually see all that information. Our guild roster add-on actually somehow scrapes that data, and we can actually see what your professions are. What we can't see is what your specs are. So if you guys tell us, we will mark it in your note. We will use a specific format so that way it only takes up a certain amount of space. We would prefer to do this ourselves. So please do just message an officer at any time outside of the meetings. Of course, don't do it to me right now, please, with your specs if your note is not marked, and we will get that marked. This helps your fellow guildies.
Message.
You fuck. What? Wait, what'd you say? Hold on. Did you just
saved yourself a message?
Oh, you were about to send it to me? I had a feeling that somebody was gonna. Yeah. No, just don't worry about that. Send us a message when we're actually available and have some time, and we'll get that set up. There's no rush on that. But, the more info that's in there, the better. If your fellow guildies can see what specs you are and what your professions are, then, they might be more likely to hit you up for something. All right, it is time for giveaways. Alex, you take it away.
Alrighty, just bear with me because Shady usually does this, and he's quite familiar with Gargle, and I have absolutely no fucking idea what I'm doing when it comes to Gargle. So I will roll stuff off, and then it might just take me a sec to figure out how to distribute it. We're going to start with an imbued netherweave bag, which is an 18
Do that one
slot
last.
bag. We have one of those. Do that one last.
Yeah, do that one last. That's always last.
Okay, we've got
swing and a miss.
We'll start off with some books. We've got 2 Codex Prayer of Fortitude for priests.
And yes, you can roll for alts. If you have or are intending on rolling or a priest, then yes, you can absolutely roll for your alts here. For any of these items, actually.
Give a second roll time.
Can you do it in raid warning? Just link the item and then people will roll? Or are you going to do it with Gargle?
Well, we're going to try to do it with Gargle on the book because it's not like a low value item.
Hey, it worked!
But you can't do it for your
This is step 1.
if you do it with Gargle.
Yeah, just ignore the off spec thing. Just roll a 100 if you're gonna roll. Just do a regular
just roll a 100.
Yeah.
Well, that was uneventful.
Somebody left the guild instead of rolling.
They really didn't want it.
They really did not want this item. Okay, well, nobody wanted that. So then we're going to go with... I've got a couple of Gift of the Wild books.
They deleted their character.
Ah.
They decided to go roll a priest.
I'll have to wait for next week.
If you have or are planning on making a druid. There you go.
Okay, we've got one roll.
50-something.
Well, I thought about leveling the druid, but he can have it.
How
I
do
think we have 2
roll?
of them actually, don't we, Alex?
How do I
Exercise
roll these items?
Alex, we have
We've
2
got
of those,
2
right?
books, yeah.
Yeah, so if somebody else wants, roll now.
Enter/roll, right?
Just slash roll.
Okay.
You got a /R or raid /RA.
No,
ID.
R/ROLL. You don't have to do it in raid. It'll automatically, everybody will see it. So it looks like that one is going to Javis. Nobody else wants the second one. To get your items, open trade with Sayonara. He's the one with the condom of leadership on his head.
With 4 holes poked in it.
I think it's kind of funny we've had several deaths during this guild meeting, not gonna lie.
One was self-inflicted.
Seeing how funny it is, that's going to inform my decision as to where we
Any
go
priests
next
need
time.
a shadow protection book? Like all of our priests are already well booked up.
Okay, nobody's interested, it looks like.
Right, the next thing I've got is an 8 of portals from the Dark Moon portal set.
Vendor trash.
Yeah, we just figured we would allow people to
We
roll
figured
on it if they
just in
want.
case anybody is building a set. Otherwise, that is definitely going straight to the vendor.
Although, to be fair, in TBC PvP, I was using that as a mage. It was very fun for them to take forever to
Alrighty,
kill me.
nobody
And
for that one. So now I have 3 sets of hollowed trousers. Look like healing. Oh, no, I don't. What the fuck? I've got 3 sets of leggings of the Shattered Hand, which are plate leggings with defense rate, with hit rating.
That's DPS
There's
warrior
3
stuff.
sets of these.
That's some sweet Ret Pally stuff right there.
Nope, DPS warrior.
What about a Ret Pally?
Don't start. Don't start.
Oh, you started earlier.
Come duel me, Vishi. Let me get my gore howl on.
They
I'll
started
never
it
play
by
Ret.
existing, okay?
I don't even want
Congrats.
to roll.
SK?
Vishi, I will say I took your comments to heart. If I can get enough gear from Kara, I think I might drop Ret temporarily to do Holy.
That's the best thing Ret Paladins can do, is respec.
Temporarily.
Alrighty, next up we have
Always.
3 Essence Focuser Mallets.
Yeah, we have a lot of them.
Be worth DEing those.
Yeah, if nobody wants them. That's why we're trying to give them away first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Y'all want me to go heals? There you go.
There you go.
I mean, you can get void crystals from it.
Congrats, Senior.
We've
Just
had
quick trade,
actual
that'd be
raid runs
great.
with fewer deaths than this guild meeting.
Are you there, Xenia?
Yeah, I'm talking.
No. Perfect.
Sorry, I was watching the next loop.
Alrighty, now we've got some Shroud of Spiritual Purity. It's like a healing chest piece.
I'll hold out for the Lightbringer chest from Kara.
I mean,
I
if
mean, you can take this one in the meantime.
it's
No,
literally...
I haven't dropped spec
It's
yet,
literally
but,
going to get disenchanted if you don't take it.
I would rather have the enchanting mats for a free mongoose. Just kidding.
Oh, there we go. Somebody wants.
Hey. Congrats, Mind. Awesome. All right, next up we have a set of ultra spectropic detection goggles.
Do you have any regular ones?
I have no regular goggles. I'm all goggled out. I'm also not that interested in finding gas clouds necessarily.
If you had an engineer, you'd feel differently.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's why I don't have. That's why I'm not interested.
I used to have an engineer. You know how many times I passed the gas cloud and was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Congrats, Jarvis. Alrighty. Next up, we have 2 Valanos longbows.
Oh, yeah.
If you are stupid enough to use gear score, those are your best for hunters.
It's probably better than whatever my hunter has, but not that I'm 70 yet or anything, but
It's Fishy. Can you come over here?
Nope.
Come the fuck over here.
I am. Thank you.
Cool. Next up, we've got plans for Dark Iron Plate.
Well, we have concepts of plans for Dark Iron Plate.
Yes, we do. Alrighty, now we have a Hammer of the Northern Wind.
I think Kaldor wanted
I'm
the.
back.
I think Kaldor just wanted the plans.
Kaldor.
If
Fuck,
nobody's gonna
Kaldor,
take
come
it,
and-
I don't have.
Yeah, come and
MSP
open a
for
trade
kicks.
with me, Kaldor.
Which one are you again?
The one with the
Sayonara,
nipple.
big condom of leadership.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, we have Hammer of the Northern Wind.
It's got to be what for a rogue maybe that's leveling.
I mean, its damage value is going to be pretty good for its level.
Enhance, yeah.
Sort
Enhance
of.
would probably use that too, yeah.
Enhance would be good, yeah. Sort of too fast for a main hand and too slow for an offhand for a rogue.
Auctioning for 40 gold though, I can go to the guild bank after selling, you know.
Yep.
Yep. We just offer everything as a roll first before we sell them. So
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have a Crystal Forged War Axe.
don't we have like several of those? No, just the one.
We currently only have one.
I think we used to have like a bajillion of them.
Oh man, that Ret Pally.
I think you mean DPS warrior.
Main DPS Warrior's Fury. He won't hold the two-hander until Wrath of the Lich King.
No, it'll be arms.
Sorry, just had to throw it there.
Alrighty, now we have a staff, the Bringer of Death.
Got that warlock coming up.
Wow.
He might have. I don't know what he has.
McDot.
There you
No,
go.
no,
There
no,
you go.
no,
With the
no, no.
94.
No,
With the
no,
94.
no.
Yes, just
No,
keep rolling
no.
until you win. Congratulations, Unrested. Come
Nice
and-
try, McDot.
Unrested, can you come a bit close to me so I can award this to you, wherever you are?
So close, so close.
Perfect. Alright, next up we have a formula for Holy Weapon Enchant.
If I was still a tank, maybe.
Gratz Forge. Next up we have Enchant Shield Intellect pattern.
Is that the pattern or just the enchant?
The pattern.
The formula.
Oh.
Well, somebody really doesn't want that pattern based off that roll.
Oh, I want that pattern, but I don't have enchanting.
Congrats, mind. Now you have a formula for a ruined Arcanite Rod.
That's one of those that's really hard to get sometimes, right? Because people keep camping the vendor.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's come down in price since Blizzard implemented their fix, but for anybody who doesn't want to have to deal with that shit, there it is. If you're planning on leveling enchanting.
Alrighty. And then we have a patent for True Faith vestments.
Grats, Dark. Grats. So far, grats, Dark. Go,
Congrats,
Dark.
Dark.
Sorry. I know. Shut up. I just can't help myself.
Alrighty, and now we finally got to the bag. So we've got...
Should be
six.
7.
I got 6. I think I might have only brought 6 bags.
Oopsie.
I think I ran out of bloody bag space with all the other giveaways. I ran out of bag space for the bags. So I've got 6 netherweave bags. So the top 6 rolls will get one.
I see Daltona was saving his good roll for this one.
Indeed. Alrighty, congrats to Altona, Heratus, Mine, Xenia, Unrested, and Kala. I'll just let me do it through the add-on, otherwise I'll lose track of who I've given one to. There we go, and finally we've got one imbued netherweave bag.
'69s are still instant wins, right? No one, that one.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
honestly,
vital.
I would not mind establishing that as a rule for our guild meetings in future, but it would need to be said beforehand.
Right.
But I'm totally fine with stupid shit like that. Looks like Vita's got it with the 98.
Vita's got it. Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations!
Congrats.
Alrighty, that's it from the loot.
So the two
perspective.
epic blacksmithing recipes that were in the guild bank, are those just ones available for purchase? Discounted?
I believe that those are for Ash once he gets his blacksmithing up to have it as the guild blacksmith.
Yeah, we'll let him decide whether he wants them first, and then if he doesn't
Yeah.
or he already has them, then yes, they'll be available for.
Tell them to catch up. I can use them. Just kidding.
All right, guys. So at this point, I'd like to open the floor for anybody who has questions, comments, concerns, suggestions that they'd like to say publicly. Now is the time.
Issue, I'm going to have to log out because
figured.
I've got a meeting right
Yeah, I
now,
figured.
so
Thanks for
I'll
sticking
have
around.
To deal with that. You're right, mate.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
See you, bud.
All right, so now
Have a
the
good
floor is open for questions, comments, concerns, etc. Anybody got anything they want to bring up that wasn't already covered?
First, I'll apologize for interrupting.
No, it's all good.
Second, great guild you have going on.
I hope so.
Third, just throw a suggestion. I love the raffle. Something might be a little bit more fun. Every once in a while. How about a scavenger hunt?
Maybe, but we don't really have control over the game, you know? So,
Yeah, well, there's a lot
and
of
not
people
everybody
that
is
showed up.
not everybody's 70, not everybody has epic flight. And
You do a scavenger hunt. Everybody starts at level 1, makes a new character.
although I
take
will
a
say
start.
I mean, we did in the past occasionally do some like party games on Discord, like Jackbox, that sort of thing. So we could maybe do something like that. And I was actually thinking of maybe doing a movie night at some point here soon. Could if anybody here would be interested in doing a movie night where I'll stream a movie, you guys don't have to download anything or whatever. If anybody's interested in that, could you type 123 in the raid chat right now so I could see? I'm just curious how much interest there would be for something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm gonna say is you better pick a good movie.
Well, I was thinking that we would just pick a time, and then I'll show you guys what I've got on my Plex server, and we can pick something from there.
Make him watch Lord
Or,
of the Rings.
or prior guild meeting. Let people do a vote.
Maybe.
You
And
try
Zania, I
to
was gonna say,
something like pull something off of the black market on something that ain't even came out yet. Yeah, sure, I'm down.
Zenia, I was gonna say, if you want to do that scavenger hunt idea, I mean, I think the officers would be fine. I'm not speaking for them.
If you
But, like,
if
if
you
you
want
wanted
to
to
do the
host it-
organizing, yeah, and if you want to host it, and then we'll just make the event for you for people to sign up. That's fine. But yeah, as far as that coming from us, probably not going to happen. That particular thing.
One more
It was
thing I'll
just
say.
it was just an idea, just to have, guild morale. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Your heart's in the right
Well,
place.
One more thing I'll say. This is Caldor. If you guys need a gem cut, just mail it to me with what cut you want on it, and I'll either cut it for you, or if I somehow don't have it, I'll return it to you.
Me and you gonna be best friends. Gonna be cutting right next to you.
Anything else? Last call for any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions. Of course, you can always bring them up privately outside of meetings, but if there's anything I can answer for you now, now's the time.
I have one idea, just like a thought that came to me as like a little mini initiative.
Sure.
If everybody wanted to just send a piece of mail, 30 copper, just send a note to Zach, just well wish him, or just tell him, we appreciate him and get better type thing. I think it might cheer him up a lot.
I have no qualms with that.
Might be a fun mailbox for him to come back to.
Please send him eggs for this trying time.
I got something for you, Zach.
He's not here at the moment.
He logged out. That's why I felt
Yeah.
safe saying it.
Yeah, no, I
It
got something.
sounded like
I
a
got
threat.
something for it. I got something for it.
Don't pull your pants down.
I'm gonna send him a dick and balls.
All right, guys. I'm going to call it here then. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Thanks for hosting us. You guys are awesome.
No. Seriously, he's not in here.
That concludes our meeting today. Thank you, guys.
Later.